couple of mates is here with me today. We got Jelani, aka Smoke. J Smoke is in the building.
It's actually J Smoke, the warning.
It's a warning. This lovely, beautiful looking female on the side of me is Sydney.
Sydney.
Oh my god! She's got it down far, man.
So,
she's got it down far.
This is episode 5 and welcome to the gallery. We upstairs and we outside. Now there are many people who suffer with mental illness and they secretly crave for help in many ways that we tend to ignore. Others are just unaware of their own mental condition. Some feel depressed and disconnected, while others use attention as a combat mechanism. And as a friend, we must provide a helping hand for those who are truly in need. Now the questions are, what is mental health? Why do people suffer from mental disorders? Where does it stem from? And how can we help? I surely know somebody who does suffer with these kind of conditions, with mental disorders, right? It could be a family member, it could be a co-worker, or even a street dweller. You know that?
Or it could even be yourself.
It could be you.
It could be you.
It could be the man behind the camera. We don't even know.
Oh, the thing I lonely or what? Sex!
Mental health is a combination of our emotional, psychological, and social behavior. It affects how we think, how we feel, and how we act. It determines how we perceive others among us. And throughout this journey of life, at some points, you may experience a mental health problem due to many factors, which may include bad life experiences. It could be a toxic relationship. You know, you just came out of an abusive relationship. It could be rape. Bad life experiences. Then there is also biological factors, chemical factors like the food we consume on a daily basis. So guys, we are here to discuss mental health.
Big man thing, right?
Big man.
Right? Ghetto thing, right?
Yeah.
We talking mental illness.
Right. Which
And I'm being very real, right?
Yeah.
I will use this as a disclaimer for the masses and them out there. Partner, it have enough of we out there, enough meaning, plenty of us, a lot of us out here suffering with mental illness, and we are unaware of the fact that we are suffering with mental illness. For example, and I will use this as the primary example, PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, anybody, even in the third world, who uneducated, will know PTSD. Yeah, I hear that term already in a movie with army people and things. With army people. So only war does bring out PTSD now, boy. But all they don't understand that the environment that we living in, right? The stresses that we go through on a daily. But now I watch a freaking printout on Google the other day with how much an average Trinidadian surviving on for the day. Within that range, within that realm of thought, understand that every human who living out here on this planet in Trinidad and Tobago studying by where I gonna get money to buy grocery from, by where I gonna pay my flow bill, by, because you know Wi-Fi and thing, getting access to the internet and thing is like
It's needed. It's like a necessity.
That is
a necessity right now.
It come like shelter, it come like clothing, it come like food.
Exactly.
I need access to the web. You feel me?
It's true, it's true.
So we have been programmed out here since birth. Right? Whether we wanted to acknowledge that fact or not, we have been programmed since birth. Right? So I could remember my times when there were no cell phones.
True.
I could remember when we had to dial up and there was a long line in front of the freaking payphone booth for people who waiting on calls or waiting to make calls. And it's programming, dog. So we still not under the program, huh?
Okay, well, mental health is like, for me, the distorted perception of reality in terms of where you stand with a situation and other people and within yourself, most importantly, because most times it has always been an issue within self and then it projects outwardly to others. So we externalize what we feel internally. Mental health usually manifests as like unstable relationships,
Right.
low self-esteem, aggressive behaviors.
Aggressiveness.
Isolation,
Isolation.
behavior.
That's correct.
There's like spectrums of it.
Mental health in of itself, it's self-explanatory. Mental health doesn't have to be that you're actually sick with something or whatever. Mental health could be something circumstantial. So based on your it's literally how you feel mentally. So before getting into
Based on the circumstances.
before getting into schizophrenia or a bipolar disease, which is an actual disease that maybe you're born with or whatever, it could also be circumstantial, as you said, with a toxic relationship, being codependent on someone. All that has to do with your mental health. Simply put, mental health is how you feel mentally.
However, I actually do understand things from a more of
A layman perspective.
Yeah.
General average perspective.
yeah, based on the environment, there's like most times actually from my observation, my personal opinion, I see that mostly it transcends from childhood trauma. Everything links back to childhood trauma. I don't just see things from just a physical standpoint. I see things from an energetic standpoint, from an emotional, mental, physical, and a spiritual standpoint, because that is the components I believe that makes up all of us. All of us. That is the, because if you think about society, right? A lot of people neglect their emotions. We were conditioned to neglect our emotions, but what is emotions? Emotions is energy in motion. Everything is energy. You are always receiving energy, and you're always. Sometimes you're gonna feel. It's a guide. It's like a compass.
I'd like everyone to welcome Marissa to the gallery right now. This is Marissa, first time being here in the gallery upstairs. So everybody, welcome Marissa, please. Just a round of applause. Right? I'm sure you have a friend with that type of condition, whether it's depression or anxiety.
From my experience with them kind of mental disorder, I have a family member who this claim say when they went and check him, they say is a lack of chemicals bridging to mix it it's supposed to mix. It not creating in his brain or whatever.
So there's an imbalance.
You understand? Yeah. So give him a tablet or whatever. But when I listen to you talk and think, when you go into your madness, you're cognitive of what you're doing. So at what stage you're really mad per se, or you're acting mad in a sense? Understand what I'm
Very much
Where is
correct.
the line to define if you're really mad? Because you will go in a psychiatrist and you'll be normal, and as they reach you, you born A. When you're vexed with this one, you're vexed with that one too.
Yeah, so
What is the line where you
Some
can
people
really
just
say,
put on a front, like I'm a madman.
Did they identify what was the
he
diagnosis?
spend time on the water and stuff, and it's just a chemical imbalance.
Correct, that's right.
Thing and it just block it out.
When you think about it, our entire culture we derive from slavery.
right.
So really and truly, what kind of conditioning would you really think? Okay, so we like to say listen to the elders, whatever, but the elders derive from a traumatic experience. So when you really think about it, you think they have everything right? You know, that's why there's like this war right now with the generations where they, there's a generation kind of war where everybody is like, it's you and it's you, but really and truly, it's nobody to blame but an actual system that everybody was just ignorant. And the more we grow is the more we have to take accountability for ourselves to make a difference.
Correct, it's right.
So,
Yeah.
if you become aware of something, if you find like everything dismantling around you, stop and think, is it me? Because it most likely is you.
Of course.
It's not everybody else. It has to be, you have to take some kind of form of responsibility at the end of the day, and that is the only time we can really make a difference within ourselves. And generally, if someone doesn't want to be helped, you can't help a person who doesn't want to be helped. You could try to, but at the end of the day, a person has to really want that for themselves to make that change. We could try to pray it away and we can try to wish
need
it
to
away,
make
we
that
can try
efforts.
to talk to them how much you want, but unless they actually go through something, some kind of thing where it kind of shifts their perspective, even for a moment, or you could plant seeds in their mind. Don't doubt the power of planting seeds, but at the end of the day,
they need to want it. They need to
want
change.
it. They need to want
change.
it. They need to see how is it destructive. And most times there are certain personality disorders where the person is mostly centered around themselves and they can't see anything beyond themselves. And in this way, for like I've watched documentaries on this, and you have to make the person see how they're really hurting themselves and all of it for them to actually want to make a change. So if you try to say, well, you're hurting this one, you're hurting that one, it will not register until you start to put in a perspective where they see where they are getting hurting them, their own behaviors.
Just one point I want to touch on when Blackline was talking about the transference of things. That is a very serious and real thing when women pregnant and things. Remember the man, whoever is the father and thing, that have a lot to do with your mental calmness, how they treat you, how you think the future going to be. So if you're pregnant and you're depressed and you think all the time, how you expect your child to come out and you not coming and sleep and the child born? Why you don't sleep in the night? Because you was not sleeping. And next thing when they say, and you're pregnant, the people around you don't dislike something in them. If I don't like how you don't talk, your child here about time you're going and come out talking like that person.
I just practice something called mind distraction. I distract my mind by doing various activities that I like. So I don't really be depressed, I don't really be sad. I try to maintain my well-being by being creative. I do different things. I write music. You know, you can distract your mind by exercising, doing physical activities. You know, there are many things that you can do to channel that energy from one place to another.
Which is a
so
positive.
you can turn a negative into a positive.
Which is called alchemization.
And it goes back to energy.
Alchemy, energy.
Energy. We are energetic beings. Our brains is interpret energy, frequency, waves, wave patterns. Right, so it's that real. Our nervous system is an electric system. We generate pulse, which is a form of electricity. Right? So light and sound and vibration, all those things.
All of those things, and that's why we use creative mediums to express ourselves, and that's why when people aren't allowed to express themselves, they start to become depressed.
Exactly.
Right, and then that channels and manifests in a variety of different ways. So
you're only receiving energy from negative stimulants instead of positive ones, which is like what you're talking about, the redirect.
And another
redirect your mind.
And another thing, we must learn to filter the things that is entering our minds.
Exactly
very true.
We have to know to take away the negative
surround
things
ourselves with
and
positive
intake
things.
positive things. Another thing, stop overthinking about the negative things.
Yes, and stop making excuses.
Stop the procrastinating. Get up and do something for yourself.
I know we're not pointing out all about self-respect.
Self-love and self-acceptance are two of the main keys to helping you develop a better sense of self and a better quality of life overall.
Exactly.
Because the detriment of society is a lack of self-love. What does the media push towards people? You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, and then a lot of the depression is stem from people that feel like they don't fit in and they don't belong and all these different things when we're supposed to actually be cultivating our uniqueness and our individuality through our expressions and through creativity. Right?
Just come down to you as an individual telling yourself what to do and not taking
Creating
external
yourself.
commands
And create yourself.
and have
Spend
yourself
time.
in a turmoil now. Oh, by the time I do so much, I want to do this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
and then there are
what
ones
to
who
do.
were programmed so much in life that they don't actually have any direction because everything they've ever known was
It's
what other
just
people
that.
told them
It's
to
just
do.
that.
So they have
it's
no
like
real sense
crazy
of...
to even think
That
about
is
outside
why
of that.
that
Yeah.
makes
Yourself, focus on working on
that's
yourself
why
as an
you do
individual.
the things that you like doing.
That's what it comes down to.
You understand?
Be happy.
Be
That
happy,
will create happiness within
within
you.
your
I was a very, when I was younger, I was a very kind of like, there was times where I was very negative and I went through certain circumstances that made me suicidal.
So it was negatively charged, in other words.
At that time.
Yeah, yes, very negatively charged. Very negatively charged. And you know, I did not know proper emotion, like I didn't understand what was happening, and that is a lot of problems with a lot of people. They just don't understand what is happening to them and how they feel and why they feel this way, because there's a lot of stigma behind mental illness, and no one wants to really talk about these things. And if someone does try to talk to it, most times like, well, drink that now, take a smoke, take a drink.
Easy
but but that is like putting in a band-aid over a bullet wound. It's not really getting to the roots of the problem.
Fix.
It's a temporary fix, and
it's a bit of enablement.
at the end, I mean, alcohol is a depressant, so you would feel a high, but afterwards you're gonna feel a real low, and then you're gonna feel even worse, and then it's a continuous cycle. And then you're just in a pit, you're just in this toxic pit, stewing, and you're not feeling better about yourself.
Yeah, then problem on top of problem. Yeah, when you have a mental illness, now you're an alcoholic.
You think about it is, people don't like to hear this, right? And when I was in my depressive state, I didn't like to hear it either. It's your mind at the end of the day. It is your mind, it is the way you're viewing things, it is the way your perspective. It literally is about you holding yourself together and making a change. Look at my shoe as the outro.
Alright,
Yeah.
I just want to thank everybody for being here today in the gallery. Sydney, Jerome was behind the scenes today, P.com as well, Keegan, Blackline, J Smoke, and Melissa. Is Melissa?
Marissa.
And Marissa. I ain't too good with names, but we had a wonderful time up in the gallery. And now we are about to resort.
Drinking, smoking,
I don't want to say it, I explain it. Alright? So let's see the new look. I hope all you like the new look in the gallery, right?
We're gonna practice some.
There's the new look right here. Self-care is right.
Look at my shoe. Look at my shoe.
Now we're going to leave all with this one. It's a big one. It's a freestyle from the top. Go something like this. Look at my shoe. Woo. Look at my shoe. Hey. Look at my shoe. Woo. Look at my shoe. Woo. Look at my shoe. Hey. Look at my shoe. Look at my shoe. Woo. Look at my shoe. Look at my shoe.
look at my shoe, look at my shoe, nigga. Know what to do, nigga. It's P.com. Look at my shoe, nigga. It's black and blue, nigga. It's black and blue, nigga.
Look at my shoe. 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 Hey. Look at my shoe, look at my shoe, look at my shoe.
Look at my shoe.
Look at my shoe. Hey, punching too. Hey, look at my shoe. Hey, you're punching too. Hey, look at my shoe, nigga. It's black and blue.
Hey, look at my shoe, look at my shoe, look at my shoe.
Look at my shoe.
Look at my shoe. This little guy is coming in. Look at me. Say hi. Say hi. Look at it. Look at your feet.